Hello! Welcome to Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp.
And I'm Melissa Delp.
And we're just going to take a minute and make sure people can join, make sure our sound's good, make sure that everything looks good, because we're starting a new series called Kickstarter Last Call. So let's go on and make sure everything looks good here. I know that people are going to be joining in, so definitely let us know in the comments below where you are hailing from, what state or country or whatever. We'd love to hear about that. And we're going to be talking about a few Kickstarters here in just a few minutes. So, looks like
yes.
All right, let's check the volume just real quick. I just want to make sure we don't have a wheel problem. Oh, I hear us. Good. Awesome.
We have sound. Good. Awesome.
Okay. All right. So we're going to get started here. And this is sort of how the Kickstarter Last Call series is going to work. Today, Melissa is joining us for the very first inaugural.
Yes. I don't know how often I'll be on. Occasionally. I'm taking this Friday off work. So.
Yes, and whenever Melissa's able to join, I'm sure she'll be able to hop on and be part of the series. And this is just going to be a once-a-month series, and we have a few things that we're going to cover in our Kickstarter Last Call. One of those is going to be some Kickstarters that are about to end. Like, it could be within 1 day up to maybe 7 days. I'm trying to give a nice round, enough time for people to actually go watch this video and actually then go and back it.
Right. So within a week of ending.
Yeah, basically. I think within a week of ending is probably going to be this series. So that's going to be number one. We're going to talk about a few games that are about to end on Kickstarter. They're the last call. The other thing that we're going to talk about in this video are some Kickstarters that have already ended, but they're still available in what's called like a late pledge status. So you can go to the company's has a pledge manager that they're using, and their game is still available for purchase through that pledge manager. Usually that means that they still haven't manufactured the game yet, so it's still possible to sort of get that first shipment of games.
You haven't completely missed it
That's
yet.
right, still in the last call status. So those are the two categories that we're adding. I might eventually add a third category, but I can keep that secret for right now. So who do we have here? We've got Battle Cry from Michigan, and Whale Riders. Yeah, that's the first game we're going to be talking about is Whale Riders.
Yes, Donna. Dollars to Donuts still has 17 days to go, so it is not in this video.
That is a good one, though. Dollars to Donuts. You played that one.
I did enjoy that one. There were a few when I was looking through. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. Okay, it still has a while left.
So it didn't meet our criteria. So the first one we're going to talk about is Whale Riders. And this is from Grail Games, and the designer is Reiner Knizia, and my favorite artist,
Vincent Dutray.
So, it meets some of those criteria for us to want to talk about it. So Whale Riders is a theme where you are controlling a person that's on a whale riding down the...
They probably show some of it on the page.
We can probably scroll down and look. See, this is new stuff for me.
Yes. I'm like, look, Kevin, you can show them.
So let's go down and see if we can see some of the different things. There we go. There's a picture of the...
Don't go too fast. You'll give people motion sickness.
All right. On their whales?
Yeah.
So here's a picture of the board, and you're starting at the top, going all the way down the bottom, collecting resources, and then going back to the top. It's a very easy game to learn and easy game to understand. So hello, welcome. We have Jen and Stephanie. Welcome from France. Wow, wonderful. Glad that you're able to join us. I liked this game because I like collecting resource management games. There is a little bit of a race element I felt to this game, and I like games that aren't like game over with a race, but I like sort of I can push the game along a little bit that way.
Yes, we played a prototype of this, and Kevin has a preview video. And we do those videos usually before the Kickstarter campaign is up.
Yeah, so we don't really
don't know the pledge levels. We don't know some of the extras that are going to be in or how they're going to upgrade it.
Yeah. So just real quick about the the Kickstarter campaign itself from Grail Games, there's actually 2 games that you can get. There's the base game that we've reviewed, and then there's this card game. I have not personally looked at that game,
Right.
but I do know a little bit about it. I did some research.
Oh, research.
I
Good.
know. So it's a pure card game. It's got a lot of the same art, of course, and stuff like that. But basically what you're doing is going around a table, playing a card from your hand of cards, and basically those cards have numbers, so you can sort of see there that shell has 3 on it. So if cards have 3 shells out, those people who played the shells collect them. Every other card that's out is discarded. So you're trying to collect and those points are going to be at the end of the game. So based on what cards you are able to collect, not what's discarded.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a little different take on the game.
Yeah, it looks like you have the pledge right there, the olive board. So that's a copy of Whale Riders, the game, and the card game. And it looks like it's about $25 to $27 US. I think that's a steal.
Yeah, I think that's a really good deal.
I expected, it is a simple game, Whale Riders, but with the components and the art, I expected it probably to be in the $30 to $40 range.
Right, but you're getting 2 games out of this, so that's great. You can.
I don't know about shipping, though.
Yes, I don't know about that. There's another game they're throwing in. If you want to pledge $90, you can get Yellow and Yangtze. So another game from Grail Games. All right, we got to move along because we have some games to talk about. Someone's already mentioned this game in the comments, and that is Perseverance. And that this is from Mind Clash Games. This game is doing very well on Kickstarter.
Yes.
I should have said the Whale Riders is doing well, but this game is blowing Kickstarter.
Well, it's much more expensive.
Yeah, it's a much more expensive game. But lots of backers, 5,000 backers. This one only has 4 days to go. I should go back and say Whale Riders, it only has, I believe, let me go to the top here real quick. Whoop. See, that wasn't that bad. 3 days to go for Whale Riders. So that ends on July 28th. Another game ending the same day, July 28th, just a little bit later in the day, is Perseverance. And this game is from Mind Clash Games, like I said. And they're calling this a campaign-type game with Episodes 1 and Episode 2 in the game, with a hint of future episodes that are coming.
That could come, yes.
Mind Clash is very well known for some of their heavier Euro-type games, like Tricerion and Anachrony. And you'll almost sort of have that same sort of feel to what they're doing here. And I have not played this game, but looking at the campaign page, here's a picture of Episode 1 and the board art and some of the things that you're going to be able to get in the game. It felt, when I looked at the game, I was like, oh, that sort of reminds me a little bit of Tricerion with dice worker placement and things like that. So here's Episode 1 and here's Episode 2. They are offering 2 different reward pledges. The first one is basically the standard edition where you're getting Episode 1 and Episode 2, but if you back for...
And that mainly has standees. It has a few miniatures, but a lot of standees. And 95 sounds like a lot, but it is actually 2 games.
Yeah, you're actually getting 2 games. We're going to get to the box in just a minute, how they did that. But the second pledge level for 135, so just like $40 more, you're getting all that plus, like, here's 64 detailed dinosaur miniatures, metal tracker tokens. So you're getting, and the other thing that I thought was funny was the squishy berries.
Squishy berries, kind of like Everdell.
Yeah, kind of. It reminded me of Everdell. These are like a teal color, where Everdell is more like a purple.
I think
covers.
if you scroll down, you can see some of these.
Here we go.
Stuff.
Here's this cool because the box, it has this like magnetic lid. What are people saying in the comments there?
Someone pledged Dead Reckoning.
Oh, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned.
Perseverance. Stefan says that Episode 2 looks better than Episode 1.
Okay.
Not sure if Episode 1's going to be that interesting.
Cool. Yeah, so this one has, we're looking at some of the deluxe components here, but a lot of this actually says it here. Deluxe
right.
pledge. Whereas
that
this
stuff
one,
is
this is
normal.
This part of the normal
Standard.
standard pledge, and this one is the deluxe pledge. So
Lots of dinosaurs.
lots of dinosaurs. So if you like dinosaurs, this is the one. All right, and the soldier miniatures are going to be in the deluxe pledge too.
They need a few more backers in the deluxe to unlock the soldiers.
Ooh, okay.
About 80 more backers.
I think they'll make it. Yeah, I think they'll make it. So yeah, this one definitely looks interesting. They have this modular tray system, and yeah, the game looks interesting to me. I mean, you were getting a lot of stuff in this. I think Melissa was even like,
I was looking at it, I was like, oh, this, I know it's expensive, but there's a lot of stuff in this box. If you like the game. I mean, I guess that's always the big thing with Kickstarters is most people haven't played them. I do believe they have several playthrough videos.
Yeah,
though,
let's go down
that
here.
are
We can
available.
check. We can check. We didn't say it, but we're on the Whale Riders one video of us talking about the game. But oh man, this game. Oh, here's some of the animated GIFs that you can look at. That's cool. So all right, we're gonna scroll down here. I think at the bottom, and I think our friend Paul. Sorry, we're going really fast. Paul, did I go too far?
You went too far.
I'm sorry.
Kevin's new at this, like scrolling as people watch. So let us know if it's getting too seasick.
Oh, there we go. Our friends Stella, Meeple University. I'm not sure who that is. Here we go. Paul Grogan over at Gaming Rules did some stuff. So, all right.
Yeah, so Kevin and I both like Tricerion and Anachrony. Solid games. We have not played Cerebria, so don't know about that one, but Mind Clash does make good games on the heavier side of the spectrum.
Cool. All right, we're moving on to Dead Reckoning. I know people have already commented about this in the chat, so definitely let us know what is intriguing to you about Dead Reckoning.
Oh, there are the numbers.
Well, I know the numbers are just flying. So this one actually has a week left, so a little bit longer, 7 days, but it ends next Friday, July 31st. So definitely look at that. This AEG is a solid company that puts out solid games, and I think one of the reasons they're putting Dead Reckoning on Kickstarter is it's just a huge game like they did for Edge of Darkness. They just can't produce it to the quality that is needed for Dead Reckoning with just a sort of standardized what you would normally get in a box.
Right.
So.
It's probably not a great game for retail because of the cost of production and just the cost that it would be on the shelf at a store.
What is the internet you speak of? All right, so let's look real quick inside of Dead Reckoning. If you're familiar with Mystic Vale or Edge of Darkness, it's got some of that it has the card crafting system, but this isn't just a card crafting game. This is a pirate game that's got a lot going on with these different islands that you're moving to and exploring and building up and things like that with the card crafting mechanic, where I think where the card crafting comes in is with the crew, because you have a crew, you have a hand of card or a deck of cards that's sort of the same for everyone, and then as you are going throughout the game getting the transparent cards, you're basically putting them in the crew, but also upgrading the crew.
Right. So it's 2 levels of customization that's available in the game with leveling up your crew, and that is a pre-planned path. So you know exactly what you're going to get as you upgrade the crew. I'm sure there's information about that on the page.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not gonna scroll fast. I just want to show our Kickstarter of the week was there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. But there's also, then Kevin was talking about those advancement cards, which is more similar to Mystic Vale and Edge of Darkness that you're sleeving in, which becomes unique to your card.
And we do have to take a moment and talk about the battling, because Melissa, for some reason, just loves this part.
It is maybe an oxymoron, because I normally enjoy games that have low player interaction where people can't mess with my stuff and I get to build stuff. This game has a good deal of player interaction, not only with battling other players, but there's that area control aspect on the different islands. So you can build things, people can destroy them, people can take control over. But I don't know. I was inexplicably drawn to battling and dropping the cubes in that tower to see what would happen.
Not just one game, multiple games we played. She just kept doing it. I was like, but from
it didn't always go well for me,
right.
But it was interesting to see what would happen.
Sure, yes. All right, well, definitely recommend Dead Reckoning from AEG if you haven't backed that. That is a great one.
Why don't you go to the pledge levels for it?
Oh, yeah, we can do that. So, we're going to move to the base game, which is $79, and you're going to get a copy of the game. $109, you're going to get this plus some content that they're unlocking. And I think we haven't really mentioned the saga element to the game, which we have not experienced.
Yes, we have not played that. So the Legendary Pledge comes with at least Saga 1. They're going to be unlocking more stuff in this coming week.
Hey, look at those two people.
Wow. They will be unlocking more, maybe a second Saga. Don't know if it's going to be in the Legendary Pledge or an add-on, but it adds more content to the game, and it seems a little bit like a campaign-ish type of game where as you play you unlock things.
Yeah, I'm interested in that, definitely. I enjoyed the game, but I could see that you're like, oh, these are the best strategies, and you might just it might become more rote for you to play the game. There's so many things to do, so it probably would take you a while, but I think the Deep Legends just would give it more meat to the game. It's not that there's not a lot of meat already on the game.
Right, yeah, and I would say that because there are, I think, 9 different achievements that you can go for, you can play an aggressive game and try to battle other people, or you can play a more turtley game and do more merchant stuff and building up things. So there are different paths you can take depending on how you upgrade your ships.
Stefan says that the battle system is special. The battle system looks good. Yeah, Legendary Pledge, definitely. All right, so those were the 3 games that we talked about for the basically ending in the next week. We're going to move to games that are currently available in a Pledge Manager.
So the Kickstarter is over, missed that aspect, but the game hasn't been produced or hasn't been shipped yet, so the company is still offering late pledges.
This one is called Time of Legends Destinies. Now, the interesting thing about this game, and there's many interesting things. Number one, it's not just really one company. It is Lucky Duck Games, but they are sort of licensing the world building from Mythic Games, and that's
like the Joan of Arc world.
Joan of Arc world that you may have heard about or seen. This game takes a lot of what you may be familiar with in Chronicles of Crime with some of the QR codes and scanning, and it sort of implements that in a different way. Instead of a mystery that you're trying to solve, it's more of a storytelling narrative that you are a character going through this world and trying to accomplish your goal, and you're just doing many interacting, I guess is the word.
And it's a competitive game as opposed to a cooperative game, so you have your own goal that you're trying to achieve. You don't know what the other player's goal is, and you may not even know exactly what you need to do to complete your goal, so you're kind of figuring that out along the way.
So, interesting thing about the Time of Legends Destinies is that I think it's a little bit more I guess it's a little bit more expensive right now, but I think it's only 2 or 3 players. So I don't know if they opened up to 4th player or not.
At least when it was on Kickstarter, when we saw it, it was only 3 player. I don't know now. So
the difference between these pledges that you see here, the Knight, the King, and the Legendary, most of it, it does have a 2 versus 2 mode expansion here in the all-in Legendary. So maybe they're adding some more stuff to make it a little bit for more players. The main difference between these pledges are the number of scenarios that are in the game that you're getting. Because it is very scenario based, the different pledges, the bigger pledges, are going to offer more content in the game. They might offer more stuff too, but I think the main thing is more content. So I enjoyed playing Time of Legends Destinies. I love Chronicles of Crime. I love that.
So where do people go to find these late pledges?
This is a great question, Melissa. So we found this one at gamefound.com, and you can just search Time of Legends Destinies, and this is from Lucky Duck Games. I'm not sure, they don't tell you, I've looked at a lot of different pledge managers. It doesn't tell you how long the pledge manager is going to stay open till, so I can't really give you that information. But I think for $49, that's probably your best deal out of it. So if you're not sure if you're going to really like it or not. So, all right, moving on. Our other one that we're going to talk about today that's in a pledge manager status is Museum Pictoria. This is from Holy Grail Games, a different company than Grail Games. I didn't even think about that till right now. Museum actually is back here somewhere. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Oh, and there goes Kevin.
Bye. This is the original game, Museum, from Holy Grail Games. So it's got a couple things. Number one, Melissa can guess.
The art. Vincent Dutray.
That's right. The art. Oh, sorry. I have to bump the table.
Bumping the whole table, earthquake. But that is not the game that
No,
this one is.
This one is very similar to Museum. This is Museum Pictoria, which is mainly focused on pictures and basically paintings throughout history.
Yes, this one's paintings. The other one was more artifacts that you find in museums.
And here's actually a picture of the sort of the game laid out. Everyone, if you're familiar with Museum, everyone has their own museum, and you're collecting the different paintings and putting them in your museum.
Tableau.
So, in your Tableau. It's a Tableau building set collection game. I really like art. I love, of course, some of the paintings that are in here, so it's kind of cool to see those. And of course, Vincent Dutray did a great job. So that's
Yes, I don't know if he was the artist on this one though.
Oh, okay. He might not have been. He wasn't the other one though.
Yes, he was.
Well, definitely the artist of the cover of the museum. Good question, or good thing to think about. All right, so we're just gonna go down here. Oh, you can get both. Anyway, maybe not. So here's the game for, it looks like 49 pounds. So, or not pounds, euros. So I'm not sure what that translates into. But anyway, those are the two options that you can get for Museum Pictoria.
Yeah, I felt like this one was maybe a little more streamlined than the original museum, the Pictoria one. It had some interesting things going on.
I agree. I agree with that. So if you're not familiar with either of them, I think I would recommend Museum Pictoria first. So, all right, moving on to the last one for this afternoon, to this video. We gotta promote ourselves a little bit.
What?
So also on Game Found, Season 7 of Tantrum House. We just finished our Kickstarter campaign a few months ago, a month or two ago. I don't know how long. It was a little bit ago. And we just opened the Pledge Manager status for this. So you can see here game bags, game mats, and some t-shirts. But the cool thing that we can just go through real quick are some of the promo cards for some of the games that we really enjoyed playing over the past months and years. And Silver is one of them. This little cat
can replace the fives in any of the silvers.
Cartographers almost won the Spiel des Jahres this year. Almost.
It's a great game.
This is the ambush cards, so basically the monsters, and this is something that will just change up what kind of monsters are coming out. I think that is interesting because you don't know what's going to hurt yourself when you play the cards. If you enjoy Letter Jam, you get another number 9. Have we ever done a nine-letter word?
I'm not sure. I think we've gotten close.
Maybe we'll have to really try and do that. But here's the number 9 token. Speaking of that, we're going to be playing Letter Jam live on August 1st for part of a partnership with CGE live on our channel for Gen Con. Yep. So Chronicles of Crime. Speaking of that, here's a Kevin and Melissa card. We have Mintworks. If you're not familiar with Parks, it's a great, beautiful sort of worker placement Takedo-ish
game. You're kind of on a path and you have to go forward.
Yes.
So those tent tokens are for the Nightfall edition. They just replaced the other ones. So
a game that actually is not out yet, Taiwan Tensuyu, this is a game from Board and Dice. They will be releasing this game in October, so the hype really hasn't built too much yet on this one. We just played another game from them called Tekenu, which is a really cool dice worker placement game. So a game that everyone really loves is Sagrada, and we have a promo card that you can add to it. It's basically a double-sided card, so very cool. And yeah, ask us any questions you like. Toy Story. This is the Toy Story deck building game from the Up, and that's a fun one.
It's similar to the Harry Potter one.
And Medium, we play that a lot with people, so that's really enjoyable. And Melissa likes to play it every day on Twitter.
I do. On Twitter, they usually have a Medium question which has 2 cards with 2 words on them, and you try to think of something that connects them.
Yeah, ask us as we're going through here.
What's that?
All right, we're gonna get to that in just a second. Ask us in the chat, in the comments, even if you're watching this video later, what games you are thinking about pledging for, or things like that. We'd love to hear about that. So definitely comment on that either now or in the future, and we always try to listen and look at those comments. All right, this is a miniature of my head. on a stake.
On a stake. It even has like your hat.
I know. Look, it doesn't kind of. That is my hat. They took a picture of it and they basically sculpted it out. So if you hate reviewers, you can get my head on a stake.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this. Like, should I feel happy, glad that we have a miniature of Kevin, but his head's on a stake? I don't know.
So that is for the board game Hell the Last Saga. That's still, I think that's might be starting the pledge manager status. I don't think it's in pledge manager status yet, but the Kickstarter just recently ended on that. Camp Pine Top, a really fun game from Talon Strike Studios. We have some games here from 25th Century, Winner Winner Chicken Dinner, Jurassic Parts.
Okay, I just need to say the name of this one. It's the Tantrumsaurus Rex, which
Tantrumsaurus Rex.
I thought was funny.
It is funny. Suburbia promo tile. I love Suburbia. It's a great one. And
the
then
Tantrum House.
It is a tantrum.
Yes.
If you look really closely, you can see lots of our reds and blues, and there's our name, Tantrum House. So we'll just scroll down here some more.
A lot of those are ones we've offered previously.
Here's a Loveless and Babbage one. And I want to get to the bottom here. We have So to watch, we got one from Meow Colt, which is from Jelly Bean Games, and then another Cartographers, the Skills expansion. So another good one. So I hope you enjoyed this new series we're doing. We'll talk about a few Kickstarter games that are about to end, a few games that are in late pledge status, and we'll just keep it pretty short and sweet. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you like about this kind of video series, what you don't like, what can we do to improve. If you want Melissa to be in all of them, we need to know that now. So
we'll get our seating figured out so Kevin's head isn't getting cut off by the graphic. Might try to get the graphic a little smaller.
Yeah, we'll talk to Will about that.
If it were just one person.
Yeah, I think so.
I messed it all up coming on.
No, we wanted you to be on. So cool. Looks like Alan is Tokyo's sidekick. Okay, cool. Very cool. Well, thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to like this video. That really helps the video be shown out to people on YouTube, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that. A couple other things. Don't forget, next Saturday, August 1st, we're going to be doing a live 8-hour show playing a lot of CG games from CGE. Check that out. I hope you will join us for those games. So, wonderful. Bye-bye. All right, now comes the fun part. You're going to see all the behind the scenes.
Ooh, as Kevin tries to
end the stream.